Okay. Hi, Melanie here. Good afternoon. Welcome to my channel. Uh, Create, that's what I do. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. I This is going to be a tutorial, okay, on how to do the mosaic stitch. Needlepoint mosaic stitch. And I don't know if you're new to my channel, you'll learn. I don't edit. We don't I don't get into all of that. And sometimes I pause the video, sometimes I don't. It's pretty, it can be kind of chaotic. I can be kind of chaotic, okay? So we have, you know, bear with me. We're going to do the mosaic stitch today, how to do the mosaic stitch. And I had shown before. This right here is the mosaic stitch where my finger is pointing, okay? This top stitch here is the mosaic stitch. This one here, where my finger is pointing. That's the mosaic stitch, and this needlepoint mosaic stitch. Hold up. This is an experimental project I'm working on, okay? A needlepoint experimental project, totally experimental. And this is here, where the brown part is the mosaic stitch. I don't know if you could see that, but it's in brown, and that's the mosaic stitch that I'm using in an experimental needlepoint project. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get this started. Okay, so here's the canvas. This is what we reviewed before, which was in my other tutorial, was how to do the tent stitch or the continental stitch. Okay, it's just an old canvas from a kit that I got. We're going to come up, poke anywhere the needle, right? We'll come up here on one. And the mosaic stitch is what's known as a diagonal stitch in needlepoint. Let's see if I can get this. Okay, that's what it's known as. You're going to come up on one. This right here is the right? So you're going to come up on one, you'll go down on two with the needle. Okay, you'll go right to the next box, this left box here. That's three. You're going to cross this box here. You're going to skip it and go to the next box that's above that stitch. You come down, that's four. Which is the next one here. You'll come up on that. That's five. And then you're going to go right across here. And that would be go down on the canvas. That's six, the needle going downward, okay? So the mosaic stitch is basically a six step stitch. All right, that's basically it. So when you start again now, you see this long stitch, you're going to start right next to this long stitch in this box. So you're going to come up on one, if I can get it to work, and come up on one. All right, this is two, so you're going to go directly there. That's two. Okay, so that stitch kind of comes on to fill in that whole area, but it's really coming up here is 3. And I'm going to cross this box again, right? I'm skipping this box and I'm coming here, which is 4. The needle is going to go there and come right here. This is above the long stitch into this square. And then it starts to build like that, okay? So in order to start the next stitch, the mosaic stitch, you're coming right to the left of that long stitch in that square. Okay, let me pause that, the train coming. Okay, the train went by. So I live by train tracks. Do you live on the other side of the tracks? Okay, so I live by train tracks. I had to let the train go by. I knew it was a long one too. All right, so where was I? Okay, so here's number 1. Right there, okay? That's number 1. And come up on 1. And you're going to go take the needle back down through 2, which connects to that box, that stitch. Okay? And then here is 3, up through 3, which is the stitch right next to it. That tiny one. Skip this square, go into that square. That's 4. Come above this stitch, up, that's 5. And then down through this square here, that's 6. Okay? So let's do it up through 1. There's the needle. Let's give me, of course, where the needle go. Okay. Up through 1. Down through 2. Up through 3. Down through 4. Right through there, which is 5. And this is down through 6. And there you have it. Okay, so that's the mosaic stitch. One more time. Up through 1, down through 2, up through 5, and then down through 6. And there's your mosaic stitch. Hopefully that's okay. And so now I want to start another row. Okay, I actually want to start a new row and start my mosaic stitch there. Right where my finger is pointing, I want to start another row, a mosaic stitch. But how am I going to do that? So I don't do this stitch all that often, obviously, but I'm going to get my handy reference to look at Okay, so right here, see the box there? See the square? I call them squares, I call them boxes. I'm going to go right under that long stitch, come up through one, and then I'm going right here. That's two. So these two stitches, no one works into that square, okay? I'm going to come up through three, I'm coming down into this. I'm going to skip that intersection, that little square there, go down through four, right next to this, okay, right there, come up through five, and I'm going down through six. Actually, you know what? It's the other way. It's here. Okay? See, this is actually stitched. So I keep my mistakes in. It's not a mistake, actually, but it's you can get this to okay, because the one and the two doesn't really start here. The one and the two starts down here. Okay? It starts where I put the five and the six. If you could figure, if you can follow me with this, okay? So I'm going to start this stitch again. So I'm just going to continue on because I'm like, oh, I didn't go in the right area to start this, da 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 da, you know, but it's a flexible stitch. It's not going to change anything, right? You're just like, oh, okay. So here would be the three and the four. And this is what's lovely about this stitch. There's your three and four. Okay, three going down on the four. And then here is actually five. Okay, and then here is six. Right, and then there is one. There is two. There is three. Come up through there. There's that square that I'm skipping. There is five. And here is six. Five, and then there is six. And the continental stitch too is that it's going to, if you miss a step, you can just figure out where the next long one is and then yeah, work it out, because the diagonal stitches are like that. They're just beautiful like that. That you can oh, here's this one. So up five, down through six, up through one. It's the beginning of the stitch. right here is the tree. Here. Okay. I hope I didn't mess this up. Maybe I did. There's your 4. All right. So you see what happened here? This stitch was supposed to go there. Okay? That stitch looks like it's in the wrong place. That stitch was supposed to go there. Right there. This stitch was supposed to go there. But I couldn't see it and put it in the wrong box, or I just put it in the wrong box. So what I'm gonna do is take this out. Okay. So where do I have my thread at? It's over there. I can't tell which one it is. Huh? Where's the thread? So I think my thread has pierced the other thread, right? So this is what I'm going to do. I like to leave in these type of things, right? So you just get an idea that this kind of stuff happens and you'll make these type of mistakes, and how are you going to really fix the mistake? You're like, well, if somebody can tell me how to fix the mistake that's quicker or shorter, I'm like, not that I know of, but you know. Okay, so this is, see it, there's something is not right there. Okay, and I couldn't get the thread, the yarn out. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and fudge over it. Okay, so it's a little bit of an error. Here come another train. Oh, this is just ridiculous. And then cross the intersection, and there you have it. 3, 4, and then pick up the stitch again. And here is 5, and then here is 6. So if you see, this was a great example of I made a mistake, and this is the continental stitch here, also known as the tent stitch. This is the mosaic stitch. So this is a great example of, if you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. Don't worry about it. You can fix it, you can fudge it, even if you can't get the yarn or the thread out and the embroidery floss, you are going to be just fine. You can work around it without having to frog. And sometimes, okay, sometimes it's like that. So I leave in my mistakes is not a perfect tutorial, because I think keeping mistakes in is, there goes a train in the background. Sorry I haven't paused, but I think you can hear because the video is running a bit long. So this is the mosaic stitch. All right, it's known as a diagonal stitch, but you see it's worked horizontally. This part of it's worked horizontally, okay? So that's the mosaic stitch, how to needlepoint a mosaic stitch. When I do an overall review. Now, okay, so you're looking at this, right? Well, before I go, you're looking at this stitch going, yeah, well, how do you start the next row? And I'm like, well, it's kind of the same thing, but this is how I do it, okay? So I'm out of the steps. I know this needs to go here. Okay, there's 1 and 2. I know this long stitch needs to go underneath there. And that's going to cross this box and go to there. Okay, and I know this stitch needs to go there. So the order of the steps, as you can see, is somewhat similar, but that's how I got that part. And you know what? It took me a while. Excuse me. It took me a while to really figure that out. Like, how am I going to turn the corner? Like, when I turn the stitches, right? Like, this, oh, the train, unbelievable. Pause. You know, it's this kind of thing. I go to sit down to do the video. The train's coming every 5 minutes. I'm like, am I doing this videos at the wrong time? Usually I'm at nighttime trying to do most of these type of things. And I'm like, because I'm a night owl. Okay, I'm up during the night. I'm like, the train though. Oh, so here, back to the mosaic, is where I'm just out of the steps to get the stitch to work. Okay? Again, like what? It must be rush hour train traffic time. Must be the rush hour. Okay? This is what you can do. So it's an easy one to figure out. It's not per se, because like I said, when I got to here, trying to get the direction, coming this way was easy, coming down to the next row, but for me this part wasn't. Okay, so I thought I would share that because it might be helpful if you're interested, of course. And here it is. Oops, there we go again. Here's the book. Okay, so this top part is the mosaic stitch, how you get started. Okay, this top section, that's the mosaic stitch. Here is this top section is the mosaic stitch. This section here is at the bottom part is the diagonal. It's called the diagonal. This is when it's done on the diagonal, the mosaic stitch. But these are the top stitches there. And there is the mosaic stitch. Okay? From the Reader's Digest, there's the mosaic stitch. Well, it was a bit of a bumpy ride on the tutorial, but this is how it go with me, because I can't guarantee that if I videotape this again, it's gonna go any smoother. Please excuse the train. Hope this was helpful, included all the mistakes. Thank you for joining me. Next time I might get a little bit more into the whole mosaic stitch with the continental stitch and see how that goes, maybe. But stay tuned. Our next stitch, I haven't quite decided, but yeah, I think it's going to be this. So the next stitch, how-to tutorial, is this one right here. What's this? What is this stitch called again? I can't remember. I'm studying. I'm forever in school. Hey? It's like a school thing. I think this is the Byzantine? Or is it the, you know what, let me look it up. Hold on. Okay, this is the Scotch stitch, right? This that I'm pointing to right here, this is the Scotch stitch. I had it wrong. I had to go look it up. This is the Scotch stitch. This is also diagonal stitches. Okay, so these are very informal tutorials. You know, I'm not fancy about this. It goes the way it goes because I'm not gonna, it's kind of like, hey, I go videotape the tutorial again and I'm like, okay, still doesn't happen, but yeah, there is actual tutorial in all of this. But so here's the Scotch stitch. That'll be the next tutorial on how to needlepoint the Scotch stitch. Have a great day. Hope that made sense. Hope it was helpful. And enjoy.